The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman on the second day of November. My pleasure to be here. Usually I'm on 12 o'clock till 1 p.m. every single day Eastern Time. Today, like yesterday, I'm doing the 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time show. Then you're going to be handed over to Jason Paff. And what we're looking at right now is the Dow, the E-mini futures up 26.25. They are just this moment hitting the 200-period exponential moving average of the daily chart. They plunged through that back on the 22nd of October. So to think this is not just a massive both short squeeze and new positions being put on. Why? Because if you look at the weekly chart, and this is what I mentioned in my webinar on Tuesday night, that the 200-period moving average in daily and weekly charts had been hit by many key stocks and indices. Some went a little bit through, some hit it exactly. Oops, no chart, sorry about that. Let me just do this again. I'll give you a chart right here. Okay, we're on right there. Click, click, click. We're in business. Okay, there's the chart. Look at this leg A. I call it a gray leg A. Why is it gray? Because all my other letters are blue. And in the blue notation, it means that on the way up, it's really on the way up, I'm anticipating that there should be a buy mode that takes you to at least a D. Gray says you're so far underneath a previous high point that this is just called a retracement. I normally call it a retracement failure mode. That's just an explanation that at any point, because there's only a leg A or B, it could really turn down sharply. So these are the characteristics we look for. We look for the MACD to cross positive. It's crossed positive. We look for the stochastic to rally sharply with the price. It has rallied quite sharply. It's at 47%. Earlier on, it was down in the teens. So that is a good sign. Two things that make me think that this right here, as we're speaking, within an hour and a half, so that's about 10 to 15 minutes after the open, that's when I suspect we're going to get the real proof, the evidence of follow through to the upside, regardless of what's allowing the market to move this high. Because last night after the Apple earnings, there was quite a sharp pullback. Dow was down about 80 points in the futures. S&P was down about 11. And then there was a slow recovery. Apple is still, let me see where Apple is right now. I haven't looked at it so far. Down 13. Normally, this would be some kind of a trigger, because now that Apple is in the Dow as well as the QQQ, the NDX 100, so this should be a factor. It's not a factor, and that is a positive. So what I'm looking at here is that there are three clues. One is how the volatility index closes the day, not how it is intraday. The volatility index now is at 1823, hit a high of 28.84 on the 11th, pulled back sharply to the 18s, rebounded to the just under 28 on the 28th, 29th, and then pulled back sharply. My suspicion is that this is going to be a clue whether or not we're making some kind of a short-term top, so that we pull back into midterm election Tuesday, just kind of pull back, and that's where the evidence comes in on Wednesday. Yeah, have we made a low? Is it the low? Is it what I call the first the earthquake, and then you get that aftershock? How is that going to play out? There are still some very weak technicals, and some of the stocks and indexes have really shown a great deal of weakness, and others have said, hey, look, we have a stock that we are fortunate to buy that we've liked a lot, We've had a couple of times, we've had maybe one or two small losses, but we've had some really nice gains, which we've got, and it's up pre-market to date from when we got in. It's really like 12% in what, a week, less than a week, and just since my webinar, the day after, since Wednesday. So that's unusual. So we're going to see how this plays out. So now let me go through the numbers. The YM, which is the Dow futures, is trading up 338 now. It's up 1.33% at 25,663. This is still that leg A. I must make it a gray A. We're talking apples to apples there, the gray A. But that weekly chart, look at that. That is really excellent action to be testing both the 9 and the 14-period moving averages after just plummeting far away. In fact, it's almost like a one-to-one from the all-time high to the 25,600, a midpoint, down to the low that was made in the futures of 24,086. So this is really important. Now, if you look at my Dow chart, this is the close yesterday, obviously. This only opens at 9:30. You will see, I'm going to go to this chart right here. If you go to this chart right here, in the Dow, yeah, actually, let's do this. In the Dow daily chart, you'll see there's a V-shaped pattern that I drawn in. I didn't expect that there would be a retest of this candle right here, the candle of the 22nd of October of 25,561 in an equal number of days. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days down, 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth day up. And already the futures are at 25,000, what did I say it was, 622. So it is really what we're looking at this afternoon that counts. So now I can just go through the numbers in a very calm and collected way. The S&P closed yesterday at 2740. It has resistance at 2754, the 200-period exponential moving average. And then it is really way up at 2790 if you go to the weekly chart. The MACD hasn't yet crossed positive. I think by the open today, it will certainly cross positive. But what's really important about this is that the weekly chart technicals have deteriorated so much that I still anticipate some kind of an arch formation to do some retesting. Once again, you can have the earthquake, you can have that internal low of 2603, you can have a strong bounce, and then you can take your time coming back down to test, and where that test stops is going to be very important. That's what I call the aftershock or the residual low. So I still think there's an opportunity for us to assess the November-December outlook in given the whole of next week. There's a lot of time, a lot of points that we're going to be able to do that with. Certainly, there's been some spectacular moves to the upside in percentage terms, but there were some spectacular moves to the downside. Let's go on. The IWM, I'm going to go to the Russell 2000. The continuous contract is up 1270 at 1554. This, in fact, is a leg B. And in the daily chart, the MACD has already crossed positive. This is nice action technically, but price-wise, the other indices have done way, way better. So this says to me there's quite a bit of time to go to reconstruct the positives for the Russell 2000. I'll be right back straight after these important messages.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, this is for me the early show that's been pre-recorded. It'll be played again back at noon until 12:30. And I'll be back to normal on Monday. Just had obligations that I'm fulfilling here, and so I'm not able to do the show. So we've got just a limited time. Let me run these through. Gold is down 3 at 12.35. That was a really strong move to the upside. We've seen that before, and it's not, I do not like these huge spikes to the upside, emotional spikes and short covering spikes to the upside in gold. And my contention remains that the dollar is the strongest unit of all. It is pulling back after making that PD in a beautiful left side, right side price time match with a plumb line low of the 21st of September at 93.81, rallies to 97.19 October the 31st, and now it's having another digestive phase in this cup-shaped pattern. Here I'm looking at it and I'm saying 95.60 to 95.50 should be the low. Now it has that cup formation. Remember, 1/3 to a half down, and usually test the low that was made of the cup. The dollar is a little different. I don't treat the dollar with these cup formations in quite the same way. I look at it as if there's a potential for a cup and a handle here at this moment. If I have to go back, because the MACD, if it starts to weaken, which I mentioned a few days ago, it wasn't as strong as it should be. I did not like that. It's a difference in the same as the monthly charts that we're looking at. The January high in the Dow had much stronger technicals than the October high, and that's usually not a good sign. And look, the stochastic and MACD here are way weaker. So I do expect the dollar's going to take a little time out here. The bigger picture says to me, and let me just move this 120-minute chart here because it's just gone under the 200-period moving average in leg D. The bigger picture to me says we've made leg B in the monthly chart. The technicals are still very good. It could take some time to, meaning a couple of weeks, to regenerate energy, but there's a real good sign, at least for me, that the dollar is going to go higher over the coming months. All right, now let's go to the TLT. The TLT is the rates, and as this is really interesting. Down again, down 3 ticks at 113.38. This arch formation, the lowercase h, says that yeah, you might get a little bit of a rally, but the rates have been moving higher, and that's important to the market. Now, two things are important at this particular point. Rates, Apple is just a hint to go with the semiconductor index. The semiconductor index, I'm talking internationally, is up 13 cents right now at 98.10. That was a spectacular move yesterday. I think there was a lot of short covering. There might be a little bit more to go. I would not be surprised. Now, we'll be surprised one way or the other, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're seeing the SMHs running here and then starting to arch over and coming back for at least, it's a 98 right now, 98.10. Wouldn't be surprised if in 2 weeks' time we're looking at the SMHs, and they haven't really rallied with the market, if the market's going to rally, but they are testing the 94 to 93 area, and that might happen even next week. That's going to be very important to monitor. Okay, I've got that. Oh, crude oil. Crude oil right now is trading down, I think. Did I look at it? Yes, down 15 cents. This is a leg E. Make a little doji candle. Yeah, it could have a bounce, but I told you, I think the magnet of the 65.50 200 period exponential moving average in the daily and in the weekly, that is 66.17. I think that's going to be a magnet and a repellent zone for a little while. Even if it goes above, it should be coming back. I don't think crude oil is going anywhere anytime soon on the upside, other than to have bounces. I think I've covered, EUR USD. To me, this is a big clue. I was looking at it last night. Very nice bounce. It's done this quite a few times before. The difference now is that the MACD went to a lower low, and if it rallies from here, it gives it a little bit of impetus to the upside, because in a sense there was a little bit of a positive divergence between the stochastic, which is now at 15%, but I just see this as bounces. I don't see the euro as being spectacular. I just think it's a bounce. And if you look at the USD JPY, USD JPY is in fact the yen. That is trading at 112.84. It's rising, but not. It's kind of stuck in a range. It's stuck in a range between 113. Let's call it 113.50, and support at 111.20 needs to hold. If that support goes, that's a real problem. Yeah, so it's a peak D in the weekly, but holding the line. Look at that 14-period moving average. It's just holding it like it's like walking the staircase, and that's really important because the monthly chart is still pretty good, and the technicals have rallied. Okay, there are a couple of things that I usually get, and I'm going to anticipate them right now. Boeing is up 6.93 to 370. That, of course, will help the Dow. It actually is now, if it opens that way, it's going to take out the left side high of 364.60 that was on the 24th of October. Now, this turns out to be quite a good monthly candle for a Friday. And we've got almost like a propeller shaft where this is the midpoint. And I suspect that Boeing will come back and retest the 357 area after this rally is complete, 363 to 357 area. After this rally completes. So probably I'm going to run out of time very soon. I'm not used to this early morning. The timing is slightly different. So let me do a couple of things. When I'm looking at the market, and as it stands right now, we still actually have our short position. We've taken some profits from the day after the all-time high. And I'm waiting to see, and subscribers will know what we're doing. They're getting their, the emails should be coming out now to tell them my newsletter is out. I'm anticipating what's going to happen here in this arch formation. How far did we pull back? Was that a low or the low at 24,122? We'll know soon enough. And there are certain positions that we can take right now as a test. And what I'm also looking at is, within the context of the monthly chart, this opening gambit for November has really been very good, because my contention is that if the Dow any week, if it's for 3 days or more, if there is a close in the daily chart below 24,700, there's a real good chance we're going to go real close to the 9-period moving average of 24,546, and maybe even test close to the lows that were just made a week ago. And if it holds really steady all the way, in fact, at this particular time next week, if the Dow is above 25,600, I would have to say that's really good action. And if the Dow is below 25,000, what did I say, 24,500, that's weaknesses come in, and watch out for a real shaky November, December before maybe we get going early in the new year to the upside on a much bigger move. All right, so we've got that, and a couple of things that I need to talk about is within the context of Chapman wave buy signals and buy modes. This leg A here is very positive, which means that the 25,000 level, at least on a very short-term basis, is going to be really key to watch, because if there is a pullback below, then what we're looking at is that the MACD will deflect lower. So it's a really important session. Have a great day. I'll see you back on Monday. Check out my opening call newsletter. You'll see it in front page of TFNN. Stay tuned for Jason, and good luck trading today. Thank you for being here.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.